What's up, guys? So it's been a while since I talked about Skyrim, and I wanted to talk about what I've been experiencing so far, because a review will not come for a while, because I'm pretty much staying away from the main storyline, the main quest, for a while, just because I really want to explore everything. So I'm doing a bunch of side quests right now, and I'm going to do a series of Skyrim experiences, just how I'm playing it, because there's so many options in Skyrim. I think nobody is experiencing the same thing at the same time ever, because you have so many things to do. I feel like I kind of want to establish my character more in the world and just himself, what his armor, his equipment, everything, before I go deeper into the main quest. But I am going into the main quest every now and then after a bunch of side quests. So let's talk about my character first of all. If you saw my the gameplay that I recorded of Skyrim on my other channel, my Play with MD83 channel, you know that I started off with a Nord, and I named him Beowulf. I mentioned that he had like an arrow coming out of his head and an arrow coming out of his shoulder, and it was that glitch that some people have been experiencing where it just stays there, those arrows don't go away. And I was just pissed off, and I had just started anyways, so I was like, you know what? And then I've been playing the game in third person, so if I was playing in first person, I probably wouldn't have even noticed it until it went into third person on its own, but I'm playing the game in third person, and you could see the damn arrows the whole time, and it was just bothering me so much. So I restarted, and I created another character. I created a male. He's also a Nord. I didn't change that. I have tried out a lot of the other races, but my favorite so far has been the Nord. That was the race that I wanted to choose from the beginning. I love the Nords. I love their background, and I just love that they're so close. I love Beowulf, so they kind of remind me of that type of character. So I have a male Nord. He's a warrior. And he's level 15 right now. His name is Merrick. I usually play male characters. Whenever you could create a character, I usually go for male characters. I don't know. I find that kind of applies to guys too. That when guys are playing, they sometimes create females because they kind of prefer to see females instead of seeing a male. And I kind of feel the same way. I prefer to see a male instead of seeing a female. It's kind of like I want to try something different. I'm focusing on sword and shield for my character, and I'm loving it. I absolutely love using the shield, and I've always been a fan of warriors. But it's funny because when I started playing RPGs, I really liked magic. After being a mage for a long time, I kind of got sick of it. So I started to be a warrior. Every time you could choose your class, I was always a warrior. And I just love the sword and shield. So I use very little magic. I don't use a lot of magic. Sometimes I kind of see myself forced to use magic. But my magic skills aren't strong at all. I just recently bought a few spells that might help a little bit when I'm in trouble, when I'm fighting something really hard. But right now I don't really focus on my magic. I haven't really leveled it up just because I've been focusing so much on my sword and shield, and my sword and shield pretty much does a good amount of damage right now at this point. That I don't have to rely on my magic, at least not on the skill level that my magic is on right now. I do use some ranged attacks. I want to focus on that a little bit more because I like it. In Skyrim, it's not like other RPGs or some RPGs where, like, let's say Mass Effect, where you could clearly choose to be a good guy or a bad guy, and it actually like monitors which one you are. This one you could do whatever you want. Like you could play the way that you want. It's not gonna monitor you. You could do a good thing one time, you could do a bad thing. It's just like whatever you want to do. You could play however you want. I'm playing in a very honest way. Like, my character is your... that's how I imagine him, at least. Like a chivalrous soldier. Like, very honest and just. And he believes in doing the good thing, and he tries to help people out. And I really focus on my character development, even if it's behind the scenes and not so much in the game. And if it just doesn't feel right for my character, I won't do it. I do plan on creating more characters. I have already, and I really want to take them further. But for this character, I'm playing as a good guy. When it comes to, you know how you have to choose whether you want to, what side you're gonna, because there's a war going on, a civil war, in Skyrim. This is known in the beginning that there's a war going on between two groups, or two main groups. One of them is called the Stormcloaks, and the other one's called the Imperials. The Imperials are from the Empire. Like, they're the heart of the Empire. Remember, my other videos that I talked about was in Cyrodiil, like in the middle of Tamriel. And they're trying to take over Skyrim. And the Nords in Skyrim, the hardcore Nords, the ones that don't want to be part of the Empire, are the Stormcloaks. And the Stormcloaks, their leader, his name is Ulfric Stormcloak. He killed the High King of Skyrim because he was letting the Empire just take over Skyrim, and Ulfric was like, no, and he just kills them. And they're doing all these crazy things. The Stormcloaks are doing everything they could do to stop the Empire from taking over Skyrim, and for the Nords and Skyrim to be independent from the Empire. So you get to side with one of those factions, either the Empire or the Stormcloaks. But I haven't chosen, actually. I still don't know what side to side with, because I'm kind of confused. I'm like I see good points to both sides, and I'm just like, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna go for one, and then I hear more, because I think the longer it takes for you to join a side, the more you get confused, because you start hearing more from both sides. Like, you start hearing people talk more and more and more, and you're just like, you start to understand things more. And you're just like, oh wait, I used to think that they were, they were all bad or something like that. And then you start seeing these other people, and you're just like, and I'm right there I'm like in limbo right now. I have no idea who to go with, because the Imperials, I like them because they pretty much want Skyrim to be for everybody. They want it to be open to everybody, like to be part of the Empire. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. But then the Stormcloaks, they're like, no, Skyrim is supposed to be for the Nords, and outsiders have to stay away and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, that's not cool. But then you hear the Stormcloaks talking about the Empire, and they talk about it in a way where you're just like, oh, that's not cool either, because they say the High King was a coward, and he gave up, he turned himself in to the elves, and now the elves want to take over Skyrim, and they want to lead everybody. And I'm just like, oh, that's not cool either. So I'm just confused right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably going to side with the Imperials, just because of my character, because he's a soldier. The Empire, or the Imperials, are pretty much, they're hardcore soldiers. But then you think about the Stormcloaks, and they are too. They're more they're not your uniformed soldiers, like frontline organized soldiers. They're more how could you say it, barbarians, wild folk fighting for their land. It's kind of like that. I don't want to say wild folk because they're not wild, but if you can imagine it like that, they're not so structured as an army. They're just people that are fighting for their land. So I'm confused. If you guys could give me some tips or some ideas or some opinions, I'd appreciate it. I did hear that if you become a Stormcloak, you could negotiate with them in certain ways. And I guess that's the same thing with the Imperials. But I'm just gonna stay away from that for now. I'm just avoiding it, choosing sides. I just got my elven armor. I'm wearing light armor. I'm focusing on light armor, not on heavy armor. Just because for sword and shield, it's better to use light armor because you already have your shield and you can move faster. For characters that use dual wielding or two-handed weapons, then it would be recommended to use heavy armor because you don't have that. You don't have a shield or anything. You don't have something to block you with, so that heavy armor will be your defense. I've been having the studded leather for a long time already, and then I was finally able to get the elven armor. I got it at Markarth, and I already have the ability to create the elven armor with my smithing skill. So I have my elven armor, except the only thing I don't have is the elven blade and the elven boots. I wasn't able to get those. So it's pretty cool. I love seeing my character in different armor finally. I'm not using any fast travel. I'm not using the fast travel option. Just because I really love to explore the environment. I really love to be outside on my horse. I have my horse. This is my horse that I've had since I got him at Whiterun. The black horse. I think her name is Allie or something like that. So that's the horse that I've had so far. She hasn't died. When she dies, I'm gonna freaking cry. I just love the whole traveling through Skyrim. It's so cool. Even though it takes long, I love feeling like, oh, I have to leave this town like around 5 a.m. so that I can make it to this other town before noon, or I love that feeling. It's so real. Like it feels real. And then if night hits and you're just like, oh, it's pretty dangerous out here, I'm gonna find a little inn or something and I'm gonna stay the night there. I just love that whole sensation because it feels so real. I love my horse, but the two things that I don't like is that when you have a follower, someone that's following you, they don't jump on the horse. Like, you can't give them a ride. I would love that if you could give them a ride, because it sucks. You're on the freaking horse and then you turn around to see where your follower is and they're like way back there. I mean, it kind of sucks, especially if you get attacked. You don't have someone there to help you, at least not for a while. And then if they get attacked, you probably won't even know. It's one thing I don't like. I wish you could give them rides. That'd be so cool. My horse, he's kind of suicidal sometimes. He like freaking attacks things that he shouldn't. And I'm just like, stay back there. I'll do it. Sometimes I leave him way over there so that I could fight. If a dragon were to like attack and my horse were to go and attack the dragon, you know what would happen to the horse. So I always put my horse like in safe places before I enter a battle. Sometimes I can't prevent it because people will just jump out at you and start attacking you, and my horse goes and attacks also, and they're like hitting my horse, and I'm like, no! When it comes to the general aspects of the game, like the music is amazing. I love the music. The music just does it. It's perfect. Especially this one song that's like, how's it go? I forgot how it goes, but it's just like really light melody. It usually plays sometimes like when you're in a town. Oh my god, I love that song. That song is so cool. It's just like, and sometimes it plays while you're outside. And oh, I love it. The music is perfect. And then the environment, when it changes, when it turns into night, and then you can see that aurora borealis type of thing. That is so cool. I love that. That's why it's so worth it to not fast travel, because you are going to take a while to get to where you're going, but the things that you see on your way there is so awesome. And then the weather, I love the weather changes. Like all of a sudden there's a blizzard. All of a sudden it's snowing just lightly. In other places it's freaking raining and there's thunder. I love it. It's so cool. In other places, it's like super windy. In other places, it's beautiful. Oh, so cool. I love that. Especially when it's raining with thunder. That's my favorite. This game does have a lot of glitches, but I haven't encountered major ones. I have heard about some that are pretty major, that actually interrupt like quest lines, and thankfully I haven't encountered any of them, and I hope I don't. I've only encountered little stupid ones, like I think the biggest one that I had encountered was that arrow, that permanent arrow. But that was only the first time that I did with my other character. With this character, I haven't encountered that yet. And I hope I don't encounter that again. Every time I get shot with an arrow, and he has an arrow in him, I'm just standing there waiting until it disappears. And I'm just like, disappear, come on. And then it disappears, and I'm like, Dragonborn! I've also encountered like floating rocks, where there's just like a freaking rock in the middle of the road, like in the sky, and I'm like, the hell? Like stupid things like that that don't really mess up the game for me. There's a little bit of menu lag when you go into the menu, and I was just like, okay, whatever. Nothing there. I haven't encountered any glitches for me to say this game sucks or this game is stupid or anything like that. I just laugh at them. I'm just like, oh my god, that's so stupid right there. Look at that. And then I keep playing. Whatever. But yeah, so far I'm loving the game. It's so addictive. Like sometimes you think I'm just gonna play for a little while, and then like freaking 3 hours pass, and you're just like, what? So I'm not even that far in the main quest, but I have done a lot of side quests so far. But I haven't been able to play very much, as much as I would want to. Like during Thanksgiving, this whole weekend, I hadn't played. I didn't play for like 3 or almost 4 days, so because I wasn't able to. That's why I'm still just level 15. I'm not that far, but I'm having really a lot of fun with it, and I'm happy to know that it's not going to end in a long time, so that way I could still play for a while. I'm sorry that it took me so long to do another Skyrim video. I actually did film one, and the audio, I filmed it with gameplay, and the audio didn't record on the actual gameplay, so that was stupid. I do have it. It's basically just the gameplay and me talking, but you can't hear the audio of the gameplay. I cut out all the parts that don't make sense. It's kind of like another highlights. It's probably like 8 minutes long. Let me know if you want to see that. If you do, I'll put it up. If you don't, I probably will just wait. But yeah.